Hello there, my name is Ezekiel Kuhoga from OQP Community Network, and today I want to introduce a series of teachings where I will be discussing on how you can grow your business, whether you are just beginning from the scratch or you have already started but you are in the preliminary stages and you want to grow more in your business. So this session is going to be one of the very important sessions that you have to follow, and make sure that you have subscribed in order to see the videos while I will be releasing them from time to time. All right. And before I jump straight to the discussion, I want to answer two questions which I think if they have not yet been asked, then perhaps somebody might ask in the future. Number one is that somebody might ask, this guy is going to teach us how to run a business. Does he have one himself? The answer is yes. I have a business. I opened up a company in 2016 in Tanzania. It was me and my other 3 friends, and we have been running that company since now. Of course, it has not been that much successful yet, and for the most part we've been running underground. We don't have any website yet, but we have a social media in Instagram and Facebook, and in major way that's the answer. And the second question is, somebody might ask, is this guy successful enough to teach us how to grow our businesses? The answer is that I believe there are many ways somebody can learn from anything, including the successes and the failures. And for me, I put more emphasis on learning from the failures, because success is always there to give you inspiration, to give you more motivation to go for something which you are not sure that you'll achieve. All right. But when you learn from failures, this is where you get to see exactly what you were not supposed to do earlier. All right. So you will know exactly what you are supposed to be doing, the actions you are supposed to be taking, if you have that right mindset. All right. So I have learned from the failures of the business that I've conducted, plus a lot of books that I've managed to read. I've read a lot of books from Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, Peter Lynch, and many other motivational speakers that I managed to listen. All right. So I believe now I know enough to communicate with other persons. So let's go straight. I believe in order to start any business, you must have the goals. All right. Having the goals will help you to set priorities, will help you to concentrate on the very important things, because if you don't have goals, then everything can seem important to you and everything can seem unimportant to you, and at the end of the result, you might end up concentrating on something which don't really matter. All right. So from the individual perspectives, I believe there are many goals that everybody can have, and these goals must be different. I mean, they can be different, they can be the same. But we have 3 main goals that are the same for every person starting any business. And these goals are as follows. Goal number 1 is a profit. Anyone who is opening up a new business is expecting to make some profit out of a business. And it is from this profit that these businessmen and women, they are looking forward to now to start to afford to buy the cars which they were not able to buy before, to buy the house which they were not able to buy before, to afford different stuff which they were not able to afford that before. It is from this profit. And it is from this profit that someone is expecting to get the financial freedom, we call it, so that you can be able to get out of debts. You can be able to face the emergency situation without getting in debt. It is from this profit. So this is the first goal that you're supposed to have as you're opening your business. But goal number 2 is freedom. Unfortunately, for many business operators, it would seem very okay in the beginning while the business is small or young. But as soon as the business is starting to grow, as soon as more customers start to show up in your shop, most of the people lose their lives. This is the time where they don't have enough time to spend with their families. They don't have enough time to rest. They don't have enough time to concentrate on something like really well and do and perhaps perform in the way that the customers will be pleased. But the target is to be free to get time for the family, to be free to get more time to focus on more important things, to get more time to rest, to get more time for health, and stuff like that. So if this is not your goal in your business, then you're going to face what we call the success killing your business. And I believe you must have heard that there must be some business, there are already business which were killed by their own successes. As soon as they started to get successful, this is when they started to get frustrated. This is when they were not able anymore to do that good work that they were doing once they had few customers and some sort like that. So you must have this goal in order to know where you're supposed to concentrate. But goal number 3 is security. Business is there to give you financial security, and financial security, I mean that it may happen sometime. For example, you have involved yourself in an accident and you are no longer in the capability to produce anything. You are no longer in the capability to work. If you had started a business, this business must be your rescue in the finances. It must be like running in the continual basis and provide you the income that you need, provide you the income that you're supposed to spend on daily expenses, because whether you are no longer capable of working or whether you're capable of working, still the expenses are going to be there. So another goal should be the security. So these are supposed to be the 3 main goals that every businessman and woman is supposed to have. All right. And once again, emphasize, having the clear goals in the beginning will help you to set right priorities and concentrate your energy on them. Otherwise, if you don't have any goals, you will not have any priorities. If you don't have any priorities, you will not concentrate on anything, and at the end of the day, your results will only be average. And the world goes to those people who are more than average, who are good at something. All right, let's go to the next stage. I believe there are different levels of a business as it grows. And I have categorized these levels of growing into 4 categories. Category number 1, I would call it like a preliminary or elementary level. This is the level which starts from where you start to do the business for the very first time. You have no idea about any business idea. You don't know how it works and something like that. So in this stage, all you're supposed to concentrate is on the business idea. How do you get a business idea? And what are you going to do within that business idea? Or if it's about buying and selling, what are you going to add? What value are you going to add in this idea so that you can own that this is my thing I do? And when I say you own that this is my thing I do not necessarily mean it has to be unique from others. No. I know many people in this stage, they will tell you, you need to consider the market, you need to consider your competitors, and you start to know early your competitive advantage and all that. And trust me, if you're going to do all that, everything is going to be against you because you are just beginning. You don't have anything to show up. But if you start to consider now, let's say you want to open up maybe a website, and you start to looking for website builders, you are going to find many people who have already built websites and they are superior. They are so much good. And there's no way you can compare yourself to them. So this is not a time to think about the competitors. This is not the time to think about how you're going to make the profit and stuff like that. This is the time you're supposed to think about your business idea. What do you want to do? And what will you do that to make it yourself? And number 3 thing is how are you going to distribute your service or product to the people? Those are the three main things that you're supposed to concentrate. Once again, the session which I'm going to do today is more like a general, but in the future I will release another video where I discuss every individual thing. So today is more like a general discussion so that I can give you the whole picture of the session that I will be doing. So level number 2, I would call it intermediate. Intermediate level. In this intermediate level, perhaps you already know the business idea you're doing. You already know the few people in your local area that are willing to buy your product or services. But now is where you start to learn to work with other people. This is the time you can invite other people in your business, and it could be your family members, it could be your friends, it could be your neighbors, it could be anybody that you have already met and you think you want to work with them. And this is the good time where you start to learn how do you really work with people, because there could be more than one people, and the two people, for example, you and your best friend might have very different approaches to business or to how you deal with people. Once you start to realize that the approach are not the same, then at least you already know that you're not supposed to work with that guy. And that is the intention of the business. And they say business is like a marriage. Once you mess up choosing the right partner, you have messed up your marriage. And it is very same for the business. Once you mess up taking somebody you're not supposed to take, then you have messed up your business life. But the question is, how do you know? The good thing is, for the business, when you start, you can start working with anybody, but as soon as you start to realize there are some factors which are very certainly that you are not supposed to work together, then you know that on the next venture, this guy, I will not work with him. On my next venture, I need this guy to work in my business. So this is the intermediate level. You start to learn to work with people by inviting them in your venture. But level number 3, I would call it the beginning of growth. So you already have your business idea and you already know what you want to do and the way you can distribute. You have started to invite some few people to cooperate with in your business, so you start to learn how to work with other people. And when you start to grow, this is where you start to learn how to lead other people, to lead and manage other people. And when I say to lead and manage, I don't mean now you start to watch other people are doing, or you start to give commands. No. But you have to learn how to achieve these things. Number 1, how do you develop other people? How do you train them? Do you have any skills or expertise that you can use to train the people who are working with you? How do you teach them the strategy? You're gonna have different strategies for doing business. How do you communicate them to the people you're working with? How do you motivate them? So in this level is where you start to teach or to show or to communicate to the team of people who are working with you in your business. And again, I don't mean you have to know these things on this level, but when you have reached this level, then you know this is your area of concentration. And the last level, I would call it the highest level of growth. So all the developed companies already belong in this, for example, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Microsoft. I categorize all of them in this level number 4. And in this level number 4, I believe is the time where you now have to concentrate more on getting people who can achieve your goal number 3, or if they can achieve the level number 3. So this is what you're doing once you're here. You're looking for the best leaders and you assign them to people. All right, so those are the 4 levels and the things that you're supposed to be doing in each level. So if you're in the elementary level, don't try to achieve what is in level number 3 or number 4, you will be overwhelmed. And with overwhelming, you can end up stopping doing what you're doing now. All right? Okay. And I will conclude my discussion also by discussing now the things which I think you're supposed to be doing, which I will discuss more in the future videos. So there are like 5 things which I think they are really important to consider in order for you to achieve what we have just discussed. And like I told you before, I will discuss more in the future sessions because I'm going to make this a series of entrepreneurial teachings. So number 1 thing that you're supposed to achieve is delegation. You have to practice delegation of responsibilities as early as you can manage. You see, because delegation will help you 2 things. Number 1, actually will help you a lot of things, but there are 2 main things. Number 1 will save you time, or it will rescue time. The time that you are supposed to do one thing, if you delegate, you can do 10 things. Let's make an example. If you are making a suit, all right? If you take 5 hours to make one suit, and then you have 20 customers, you will be overwhelmed. You will not do anything good. If you try to make all of them within a short time, then there is a chance that they may not be as good as required by your customers. But if you learn to delegate the responsibility to other people, you can make more suits within the same amount of time and still satisfy your customers. So this is very much important. So number 1, to rescue time. But number 2, like I said, you can afford to serve more customers within a very short time. So it's an added power. And this is the key to your growth. It's the key to your growth. If you fail to delegate power, if you want to do it yourself, there are some other people, they already have employees, yes, but because they think the work is important, they want to do everything by themselves. At the end of the day, they are wearing off. They're exhausted. They didn't do it enough because they didn't have enough time. They have frustrated the customers. They have destroyed the relationship that they have with the customers. And one thing I will tell you, which the customers need from you, they need to trust you that you are capable of delivering what they need in time and as you promised, or at least as they needed you to do. All right? So number 2 of the things that you're supposed to do is to speak to people. So this is one of the marketing strategies. Speak to people about the service you're giving. And there are many ways again that you can benefit from this, and I will discuss it more, but for now I can give you 2 main ways. Number 1, this is, like I said, it's a marketing strategy. And there is so much about marketing, which I'll discuss more, and I learned more marketing from the book. This is Marketing, which has been written by Seth Godin. But number 2, this is where you get more insights from customers. I know you cannot follow every advice that you get from people about how to run your business, but if you have the right mindset, the right perspective, when you get more information, it becomes better because now you are in the grounds to make a better decision. All right, you can decide better once you have more insight from customers. For example, they will talk about your product. They will talk about how you should distribute it, maybe to different people. They will talk about the customer service. They will talk about a lot of things. Not everything might be good for you, but I'm sure there will be something that if you take into account, it can add more value in your business. Number 3, the things that you're supposed to do is to attend entrepreneurial speaking or something like that. Entrepreneurial seminars. So this can be on YouTube, it can be physical, it can be classes, it can be anything. And the biggest advantage you can get here, also there are, I'll give you 2. Number 1, Brian Tracy says almost everybody knows everything, but when you talk to people, then they can help you to discover what is already in your mind that you had not seen it before. So this is one of the things. When you talk to people who are doing the same thing as you might end up discovering a lot of things that they were in your mind, but you didn't take a notice before. And so this is one of the biggest benefit of going to the entrepreneurial seminars. But number two, this is the place where you can get potential connection to other entrepreneurs. So you end up achieving this, what I call the business to business connection. All right, you might end up getting entrepreneurs who are in need of the service that you provide. And once you start to provide to a fellow entrepreneur or to another business, then you have more guaranteed and increased revenues. All right, number four, you have to start to read the books also in the same area, entrepreneurial. You can read books on leadership, you can read books on philosophy. They can help you a lot. But number five, concentrate on learning on finance management. Again, this is very wide, but I can concentrate more on at least learning the basics of accounting language. You know, accounts is the international language of money. When you have to submit your financial reports to let's say to the tax office or to a bank for loan, they will not ask you by word of mouth like, okay, do you have any debts, or how much asset do you have, and you just tell them, I have an asset of maybe 10,000 euros. No, they will ask you for the financial statements. They will ask you for the cash flow. They will ask you for the balance sheet. They will ask you for profit and loss statement. Now, you need to be able to understand these things in order to have more influence on these external organizations, all right? And I know you might depend on an accountant, maybe accounting firm, but this also, it kind of cripples you when you depend externals, because what if they make any mistake? What if they don't do a really good job? So if you have no idea, it's easy to be led into the wilderness. But if you have an idea, and you don't have to be a professional, you can be just you can learn just the basics, enough at least to show you the hints, or at least the highlights of what's supposed to be important in your work. All right, and actually this is one of the objectives of OQP Community Network. I intend to organize the course, which is accounting for ordinary people, and I will teach actually not myself, but I may be myself if I don't get people to cooperate with me. But I'm trying to look for some friends who know accounting language, or who have done the accounting education, bachelor's or master's or even PhD, whom we can cooperate to do this course, accounting knowledge for ordinary people, the things which any business owner is supposed to understand, or at least to know the bookkeeping part, and the beginning levels of preparing those financial statements. All right, so actually these are the few things which I wanted to share with you in general, showing you what I will be discussing in my future videos. Once again, in order to make sure that you follow up this discussion or this session, make sure you have subscribed. I will do my best now to do in all two languages. I will do one in Swahili so that my Swahili speaker can follow up, but I will also do another session in English language like I've done today, so that the English speakers can also follow this session. I will appreciate so much if I can get any feedback from you. You can comment on the comment section here on the YouTube channel, or even on Facebook. But also, if you like this video, that would be something wonderful to me, so that I can get a direct feedback and know who is actually following up, and if my message is, if my message and my work is good. But also, please make sure you share this message to somebody you care, somebody whom you think really need to hear this message, and they need to follow up this session. Thank you so much, and I wish you a wonderful time. Bye-bye.